Herb Thomas now going up to the bumper of Oldenburg as Joe Eubanks comes up to the rear bumper of him, and Thomas, what do you do? Oh, he turns Oldenburg back up the track right into Thomas. That is huge for Herb Thomas. That is not what he wanted. Dick Rathman tries to go by for the lead, but it looks like Joe Eubanks is your new leader. Herb Thomas down in the grass a little bit with Jimmy Llewellyn. Whoa, we got a car on top of another car down in the infield. We're going to have to check out what happened there. It looked like Dick Passwater in the 00. What in the world? Here's what happened to Passwater's 00 car. He gets turned by the 155. And as he's down there, wow, the 60 just comes flying in. It looks like he got turned too. And a violent rollover for the 00. Thomas now working on the number 5 of Herschel McGriff as, wow, right on the inside is Guide in the 52. Guide now working the inside. And he's going to turn Herschel McGriff. McGriff sliding through the grass, back up the track and right in the path of Herb Thomas. Oh my goodness. Here comes Buck Baker. That's for the lead right there. Baker will go to the lead in the 87 car. Herb Thomas limping to the pit lane. And Tim Flock, almost gets hit by Herb Thomas, and Joe Eubanks gets spun. Oh my goodness. Flock around the outside. Whoa, look at that. Cherry on the inside making it 3 wide with Dingler, and Lee Petty now trying to make a move on him. And whoop, Dingler gets turned by Cherry right into the path of Tim Flock. That is a big hit for the 91 car. Wow. So much for that lead. That is an he gets turned again! Oh my gosh! Dingler is just on a rampage. Oh my goodness, tough break for Tim Flock. Wow. Thomas with the lapped car of Joe Eubanks. Well, we got a stopped car. It's Mike McGill, and it looked like Al Keller was also with him. And Glenn Wood slows up there, but Joe Guide gets turned around. Wow. Chaos at Bowman Gray, but everything seems to have sorted out its way, and Herb Thomas continues to pull away. Thomas now coming up on the back of Comstock in the 8 car. And Eubanks now trying to make a move towards the back of Thomas. And oh no, Thomas spins around Comstock in the 8. That's the second car he's spun now today. Herb Thomas now coming up on the back of his brother Donald Thomas in the 29 car, who's actually running 3rd right now. A great run for that underdog driver in Donald Thomas, younger brother to Herb. And now looks like Herb is going to go to the inside to put him a lap down, which leaves only C.H. Dingler in the 144 on the lead lap, which that would be quite an upset to see him finish in the top 10, really. That 144, not often seen up at the front. Donald Thomas now put a lap down, and now we got the 86 of, wow! Oh, Bob Wellborn gets turned right into the path of Donald Thomas, and no! Herb Thomas spins Herschel McGriff. Everyone goes by to get one of their laps back, but I did not see Dingler in all of that, so Dingler not even going to get back on the lead lap. My mistake, he is a lap down. But a crazy moment. How lucky can you get for Herb Thomas? That was with 3 laps to go. Now there's 2 to go, folks. So Herb Thomas, my goodness. He's had all the good luck so far. Even then, did not get a scratch on him hardly. White flag at Bowman Gray for Herb Thomas. He's going to come down off turn number 2, lapping the whole field here at Bowman Gray. His brother Donald, unfortunately destroyed in an accident late in the going, will not finish the race, but Herb Thomas is going to win the Bowman Gray 100. Herb Thomas coming down the front stretch. He will lead them to the green with his fellow Hudson Hornet driver Dick Rathman to his outside. Herb Thomas takes the green in the Darlington 100. We are underway here in Darlington. 73 laps, 100 miles, and it looks like already, the outside lane gets absolutely shattered every time we come here. And in the first first and second turns, outside lane gets destroyed. Buck Baker already slipping into the second place, and it looks like Lee Petty moving into third early on. Dick Rathman and Tim Flock, many contenders that are now absolutely dropping back, is off of 4. Herb Thomas looks like he's going to lead the first lap here at Darlington. We're going to come into 3 and 4. Thomas with a lap car in front of him, a lap car behind him, and a bunch of lap cars in between him and second place Buck Baker. Off of turn 4. Thomas will see the white flag in the Darlington 100. He's led every lap so far, and he goes to the inside of Mike McGill to put another car in between himself and second place. He just needs to keep that car together for one more lap, and look at the run by that Nash Ambassador. The fresh tires really helping his cause. But, of course, that's just to get his lap back. Now, through 3 and 4, for the final time, it's Herb Thomas, going for 2 wins in a row in the 1953 Grand National Challenge season. He'll do it at Darlington, leading every lap. He wins the Darlington 100. Off of turn 4, Lee Petty, his first pole position of the year, comes off turn 4. Green flag in the air at Greenville-Pickens. We're underway in the 100-mile race here at Greenville-Pickens. Lee Petty off into turn 1. He will clear Herb Thomas and Buck Baker for the lead. So Lee Petty with a great start to this race already. He now comes through 3 and 4. The field keeps it all under control behind him, and he leads the first lap. Oh, caution is out. There's a wreck somewhere on the track, and it looks like Lee Petty is going to lead them back to the caution. The caution came out right after they crossed the line. And, well, it looks like Lee Petty might be reacting to the incident. Yes, he goes to the pit lane to avoid the accident. Buck Baker wrecks. And, oh, Tim Flock! It looks like he may have slid in the oil or something from that accident site, and he's in the pit wall. So Herb Thomas is going to go from 4th to 1st, all because of an accident site in turns 3 and 4. Thomas still working on that 18 car. The 77 right behind him as well. And you can see Rakestraw heading into the pits once again of his many times so far today. And whoop, he goes, turns him. 18 car has been spun by Herb Thomas. Oh, he gets hit by Jimmy Llewellyn. Oh, that was Llewellyn's best run of the season so far. His run is done. The caution flag will come out. And, wow, Slick Smith, how did he not hit Jimmy Llewellyn? But now the caution flag is out, and Herb Thomas causing the caution out of the lead. That is not what he wanted. And, oh, man, I just checked the scoring. Herb Thomas is a lap down, and he's still in his pit stall. He has not left his pit stall since they serviced the car. Now he's leaving his pit stall just before the pace car makes it past the pit lane, it looks like. Almost went 2 laps down. Unbelievable. Ralph Liguri takes the restart. Green flag back in the air, and look at that on the inside lane. Herb Thomas getting his lap back after almost going 2 laps down. An unbelievable feat by Herb Thomas to get back on the lead lap. Now all he needs is a caution, and he will be back on the lead lap in contention for this win. Johnny Patterson takes 5 laps to go here at Greenville-Pickens. 4 cars battling it out. Lee Petty a lap down, Dick Rathman and Herb Thomas on the lead lap. Patterson, the underdog of this battle. If Lee Petty goes to the inside of him, it's over. It's done. There's no way he can hold off Dick Rathman and Herb Thomas. Through pit strategy, he got himself in the lead. And now, with the help of cautions and lap traffic being nice to him, he's leading the field here at Greenville-Pickens. Lee Petty, does he try to get by Patterson, or does he let him go because he's on the lead lap? Well, with that logic, though, he would let Rathman and Thomas go by. At this point, I think Petty's just trying to get bragging rights just to say he finished on the lead lap. 2 laps to go for Johnny Patterson, I believe. It was a dominant race by Herb Thomas up until he spun a lap car. Caution came out, and under a pit stop, they had an issue on his stop. Thomas went almost 2 laps down. He comes back to be in 3rd place. Rathman's had an okay day all day. White flag, Johnny Patterson. He blocks Lee Petty desperately to hold him off for 1 more lap. And he will record his first victory of the season, his first top 10 of the season as well. Patterson, underdog victory at Greenville-Pickens. Johnny Patterson wins the Greenville-Pickens 100. Off at turn 4, Herb Thomas takes the green flag in the Hickory 100. We're underway, 278 laps, the 2nd longest race of the season next to Bowman Gray. Thomas has won 2 out of the 3 races so far this season. Johnny Patterson pulled off the upset at Greenville-Pickens, and Thomas will lead the first lap. Rathman still trying to hold off the 4 of Slick Smith, as they're 3 wide in the back. Look at that. Lee Petty, Bob Wellborn, and Gober Soseby, they're in the wall, crashing. Caution is out for the first time today. Wow. That wasn't a close call like earlier where there was no yellow. That was a wreck. Minor incident, but caution is out, matter of fact, anyway. Slick Smith running away from the field at this. Whoa, there they go. Trouble. 4 wide in the back does not work, and they all pile up in turns 1 and 2. My goodness. Big pile up. Nobody got real major damages. Liguri gets turned again. Oh, Fonty Flock. Wow. But no major damage to any of the drivers, it seems like. Curtis Turner takes the restart. Dick Rathman trying to make a move immediately on him, and it looks like he's going to already. Oh, he turns him, crashing into the wall hard. No caution, but big damage to every car involved in that. Dick Rathman escapes with the lead. A dirty lead, but a lead. After spinning Curtis Turner into the rest of the field. Herb Thomas continuing to lead here at Hickory. He's now going to come down. We are about halfway through this event. And it looks like the caution is out. Yes, it is. Caution is out on the right. Whoa, Ray Duhigg! I believe that was Ray Duhigg just by the color on the car. My goodness, what happened? He's upside down. Here's what happened to Ray Duhigg. So they were 3 wide. They get spun with Tim Flock. And my goodness, they were still together for a while. And bam, hard hit into the wall, and he just tips over and slides down the bank on his roof. Herb Thomas still navigating lap traffic. He's going to come up on Dingler here, and whoa, they are really sideways in the back. He's pulling away from Buck Baker, and Baker gets turned by Dick Rathman. Rathman, the fellow Hudson driver of Herb Thomas, now spins Buck Baker. We're coming down to 5 laps to go here at Hickory for Herb Thomas. 5 to go. He's got an absolute massive margin over Buck Baker after Baker got spun in what could be considered a dirty move by Dick Rathman, who has already spun 2 other people today. Thomas, now 4 to go. You can see Tim Flock in the back, a few laps down, just trying to log laps at this point in that 91 car. But Herb Thomas in the fabulous Hudson Hornet, trying to go for his 3rd win in 4 races. 3 to go. Duhigg somehow continuing in this race after rolling over earlier in the race. More like a flop over. That car just tipped over and slid down the track on its roof. No further rollovers. 2 laps to go for Herb Thomas. It's been or rather, 1 to go, actually. I miscounted. We're on the last lap. So Herb Thomas, domination. 3 out of 4 victories so far. Herb Thomas wins the Hickory 100. Oh, Thomas has a mechanical problem after the race. How about that? Buck Baker's probably hoping that was 1 lap sooner. Coming to the green flag in the Indianapolis 100, it is going to be Joe Eubanks and Dick Rathman leading the way. Green flag in the air. We're underway in the Indianapolis 100. Buck Baker on the outside. My mistake, not Dick Rathman. But Buck Baker on the outside trying to take the run on Joe Eubanks. But the inside lane prevails in turns 1 and 2 as usual. Eubanks will take the inside line and go to the lead. Dick Rathman following over in second, and it looks like Fonty back there going for third. Down on the low side, it looks like it could be Lee Petty maybe trying to make the spot, but we're heading into 3 and 4, where the outside lane sometimes prevails. Joe Eubanks trying to hold off the hard-charging Dick Rathman here, only on the first lap, though, of 40. So we got many more to do, folks. Side by side, Buck Baker trying to hold off Fonty for the third spot now, since it's 3 and 4. Coming off of turn 4, Rathman actually drops back, and Joe Eubanks, it looks like, is going to lead the first lap in the Indianapolis 100. He leads him at the line. Lee Petty going to try to make a move on Fonty here into turn number 3. Here he comes. Petty to the inside for the lead on Flock. Doesn't make the move. It does not work for Lee Petty. Flock now starts to pull away a little bit. Whoop, there goes Herb Thomas to the inside of Lee Petty. They make contact. They're up the track. Oh my goodness, that could have been a big accident right there for those two. Luckily, they got away just fine. Flock continues to lead, and Thomas and Petty drop way, way back. My goodness. Lee Petty coming to 4 laps to go. Look at that side-by-side battle between Curtis Turner and Dick Rathman. It looks like Rathman's most likely going to prevail into turn number 1. It is going to happen like that. Rathman pulls ahead. Look at Herb Thomas moving into the 3rd spot. Him and Lee Petty both dropped way back after almost wrecking each other. Thomas has made a lot more mistakes than Petty today so far. But look at this gap. Also, it looks like Rathman isn't even gaining much on Petty. That is an incredible sight. Can Lee Petty hold on to win here at Indianapolis after almost getting wrecked early in the race? That would be quite the sight. Rathman trying to get his first win of the season. Oh, Petty is out. It looks like Lee Petty is out of fuel. Lee Petty is out of fuel. Here comes Herb Thomas. Thomas is going to make a run at it now. 3 to go. Oh, it looks like there were other drivers at pit coming to 4 to go that I didn't see. So, drivers are running out of fuel. They're trying to make it the whole 100 miles, but it just doesn't look like they can do it. Can Herb Thomas maybe make it? Will he run out? Will Buck Baker run out? Will anybody else run out at all? Or was it just Lee Petty and a couple others? Were the drivers maybe just being cautious and didn't know if they would make it or not? I don't know for sure. But we're coming down now. Two laps to go. And oh, wow, is Buck Baker out? He's dropping back really far. Tim Flock gets to the bumper of him, in fact. I could almost think he might be out. Here we go, off turn number 4, coming to 2 laps to go for Herb Thomas. As you see more cars down in the pit lane. Getting service, filling up fuel. 2 to go, Herb Thomas. Look at this run by Buck Baker all of a sudden. Where did he come from? He dropped all the way back in 3 and 4, and now he's right back up to Herb. There's going to be a bunch of lap cars here for Thomas and the rest of them to deal with. It's a 3-man show here at Indianapolis. Gober Sosby in the 4th spot, watching all of them, hoping something happens that can maybe cause him to capitalize on them. Here comes Buck Baker to the inside. Baker trying to make the move. It's sticking. Baker is actually on the inside lane. The inside lane is working for once in 3 and 4. Down to the inside. Baker gets a run. It doesn't work. Oh, Herb Thomas is out of fuel. Him and Baker make contact. Buck Baker coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go. Did that damage his car at all? Herb Thomas made an evasive action to the pit lane when his car sputtered off turn number 4. Tim Flock right on his bumper. This is the battle for the win. Will the fuel last? We're coming to the end of the Indianapolis 100, and after 40 laps, 100 miles, there are cars running out of fuel coming to the finish line. Buck Baker, Tim Flock, Gober Sosby watching both of them, hoping one of them or both of them run out of fuel. Side by side into turn 3. Buck Baker, Tim Flock. One of these two is going to end up a victor. They could almost coast from here, and Gober Sosby still wouldn't be able to catch him. Is Tim Flock out of fuel? Oh, is Buck Baker sputtering? Here comes Tim Flock off turn 4. Checkered flag, Buck Baker is going to win the Indianapolis 100. Wow, what a finish. Buck Baker wins at Indianapolis over Tim Flock. He barely holds them all off, and he will pull off his victory. Oh, Baker is out of fuel, folks. He's out of fuel after the finish line. That is how close it was. He was sputtering coming to the finish line, and he finally ran out after the finish was over. What an incredible... Coming to the green flag, Lee Petty is going to lead them to the green in Martinsville. Green flag in the Martinsville 100. The field's spread out way in the back, but they're all bunched up here at the front. And Tim Flock with a run on the inside lane trying to get Herb Thomas for the second spot. Thomas trying to go around the outside of Lee Petty as we're coming down to finish the first lap. And Lee Petty is going to lead the first lap here at Martinsville. To the inside of Glenwood now goes Dick Rathman in the 120 as, whoa, Tim Flock stalls in turns 1 and 2. That is a bad spot to be stopped in the middle of the racetrack. Everyone trying to get by. Oh, Junior Johnson clips him right before he gets sent back to the pits. What a rough break for him. Caution flag is out here at Martinsville, and it looked like Dick Rathman was trying to get by Glenn Wood. As that caution came out, it looks like Wood will stay ahead of him. Coming off of turn number 2, looks like a lap car coming right in front of the 14 of Walk. Whoa! Buck Baker spins Wilbur Rakestraw. Rakestraw pulling back up into the path of Herb Thomas. Destroyed Herb Thomas. Oh, Jimmy Llewellyn. Destroyed Jimmy Llewellyn. Oh my goodness. Two of the front contenders destroyed as Buck Baker takes out a lap car. And that's what Buck Baker wanted. Oh my goodness. 5 laps to go for Fonty Flock in the 14. He's tried so hard all season to get that first victory of the season, but it's just not worked out in any race. And now Buck Baker running second, trying to make a move on him maybe. Dick Rathman third, and Lee Petty, he's a lap down, so we don't have to worry about him. But it's all about Buck Baker right now. Can he get a good line into a turn, maybe gain a few tenths of a second? Can he get a better exit off the corner? Will Fonty make a mistake or two? We don't know this yet, but we're gonna see how it ends here at Martinsville. We're gonna come down now to 3 to go here off turn number 4, and it looks like Baker might be gaining a little bit of ground on him, which is not what Fonty wants to see out of his rearview mirror at all. 3 to go at Martinsville. Buck Baker still trying to edge into the turns a little bit harder than Fonty. He seems to be diving a lot harder into the turns, but that leaves him less speed off the turns, which makes Fonty pull away down the straightaways. Coming down to 2 to go. Look at the run Buck Baker makes through those turns. If one of these times he wanted to, he could just dive bomb him and make a move. That's just how deep he goes into these turns without braking. But Buck Baker is trying his absolute hardest to catch Fonty Flock right now and get another victory clocked in, trying to get 2 in a row. We are now coming down through 3 and 4 for the second to last time. As we come off turn number 4, the white flag in the air. One more time around for Fonty Flock in the Martinsville 100. Through 1 and 2 for the last time. Baker trying to do something. He just doesn't know what he can. There's 2 lap cars ahead. They're not going to get in the way. Fonty Flock, bad luck and circumstances have sworn to keep him away from victory. But now he overcomes it and will win the Martinsville 100. Off of turn 4, it is Herb Thomas and Dick Rathman, 2 Hudson Hornets, taking the green flag in Milwaukee. We're underway in the Milwaukee 100. The inside lane in the back, Lee Petty and Buck Baker, 2 hard contenders this season. We haven't really talked much about Dick Rathman. He's just been there silently watching these races, hoping that one of these times he could get a victory. But now we're getting going at Milwaukee, and we're going to have to see these people flaunt their stuff. There isn't many cautions that occur at this racetrack. So we might be in for the long haul, folks. As Herb Thomas hauls him off turn number 4 to lead lap number 1 in the Milwaukee 100. Thomas now takes the white flag here at Milwaukee. It has been a very quiet race here at Milwaukee. No cautions, no incidents, nothing. A very calm Milwaukee 100. But now, it is going to be Herb Thomas scoring yet another victory down in the tally marks for his 1953 Grand National Challenge season as he rounds turn number 4. Herb Thomas wins the Milwaukee 100. Herb Thomas coming to the green flag at North Wilkesboro. Green flag in the North Wilkesboro 100. We're underway. Tim Flock on his outside. Joe Eubank starts in 3rd. Through 1 and 2, the field's getting very rowdy already. This is a very chaotic racetrack to be at. A lot of accidents happen throughout the race usually here. But Herb Thomas pulling away from the rest of the field. Look at the gap already as he completes lap number 1 in the lead. Caution flag on the track. Caution flag on the track. So they will race him back to the line. And he got Buck Baker right behind him. Oh, they're going high, so it must be in 3 and 4. The wreck must be in 3 and 4. Whoa, that's a slow car on the inside lane. That was a close call. That's a caution right there. Buck Baker, whoop, caution out again. Caution flag is out again. A lot of yellows today. Oh, looks like it was in 3 and 4 again. Looks like it was in 3 and 4. Baker taking it low, taking it low. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Jim Reed in the 9. Oh, they almost hit him, and they were 3 wide across the line because of that. Reed in the injured number 9, holding up a couple cars, trying to make it to the caution flag. What a crazy moment there. 5 laps to go at North Wilkesboro. And it is Tim Flock in the lead over Lee Petty. Petty trying his absolute hardest, and if either of these two have something go wrong, Herb Thomas is always right there to capitalize. Thomas has had an incredible season so far in that 92 car, and he's trying to maybe add on to it. Or to go now for Tim Flock. How in the world has Lee Petty not made a move yet? This is an incredible sight, really. It is. Petty has not been able to make a move yet. He just hasn't had the run into the turns, but all it would take is one bump and run to move Tim Flock out of the way. Flock now off turn number 4, getting a little bit of a gap between him and Lee Petty, and now Herb Thomas on the bumper of Petty. So now we got a 3-car battle for the win. Petty trying to hold off Herb Thomas while still trying to get to Tim Flock. Now we're coming off of turn number 4 to take 2 laps to go at North Wilkesboro. It's Herb Thomas versus Lee Petty, and Tim Flock trying to separate himself from both of them. But now Petty looks like he separates himself from Thomas as Thomas runs wide off turn number 2. Now Petty will have one more lap to make a move. Look at the run he gets through 3 and 4, coming to the white flag. Off of turn number 4. White flag. Tim Flock over Lee Petty. He's got a pretty sizable gap right now on Petty. But off of turn number 2, can Petty get some kind of run maybe in that 42? Into turn 3, Lee Petty to the bumper of Tim Flock. Will he bump and run him? Off of turn number 4, Tim Flock is going to hold off Lee Petty just barely to win at North Wilkesboro. To the green flag at Silverstone. We're underway in the first road course of the year. Herb Thomas takes the green again, and he pulls ahead of Buck Baker into turn 1. Or rather, Dick Rathman. Thomas now leads off the turn and tries to separate himself from the rest of the field. Now, heading off into what is considered one of the tighter turns of the racetrack. From high speed to almost no speed through this turn. You got to be very careful not to go more than double file through this turn, or it could end up badly for you. Then, off of this tight left-hander, down onto the straightaway. And this is a fast straightaway, as we see a couple cars going off in the grass in the back. If you don't get the braking zones right, you're going off into the grass, and hard. There are tire barriers all around this racetrack. In some turns, there are dirt embankments that can launch your cars. And in some spots, there's just concrete walls. You gotta be very careful with this track. It is a very difficult place to get around, and we're gonna be going around this for 41 laps. What a change. Or rather, 37 laps, actually. The longest race on the schedule. Longest track. We're now coming down into the final turn to complete the first lap here at Silverstone, and it is Herb Thomas in the 92 over Dick Rathman and Slick Smith. The white flag in the air for Herb Thomas. One more lap to go at Silverstone. Thomas has led pretty much the whole entire race. Now he's up to the back of the slow car of Junior Johnson. He's going to put him a lap down. That won't matter at all. He's got such a big gap back to second place. He can just basically go half throttle from here on if he wanted to. Herb Thomas has just been flawless all day. He's working. Whoa, my goodness! Junior Johnson sends him out into the grass. Oh my goodness, could you imagine if he got wrecked by a lap car on the last lap of this 100-mile event after dominating? Thomas needed this race. He needed this race to be good. He may have had a lot of good finishes this season, but when he didn't, they were bad, and very bad. The other driver that he's battling with in points, Buck Baker, has been a lot more consistent. Even though he hasn't won as much, it's a lot more consistency. Now, Herb Thomas, coming into this race barely behind Baker in points, will now prevail ahead of Baker in points by only 7 going into Thompson for the finale. This will be huge for Thomas if he can hold on for just a couple more turns. Through the sweeping left-hander for the last time. Under the banner. Coming down to the last turn now. Into the final right-hander. And through the final turn. Herb Thomas wins the Silverstone 100. We're coming to the green flag, the finale race. And Herb Thomas needs to win this race to win the championship. He needs to finish ahead of Buck Baker in the championship. Coming down through turns 1 and 2 at Thompson already. And it is Herb Thomas in the lead. If he leads this first lap, that will put him 5 more points ahead of Buck Baker, which would be even better for Thomas's situation in points. He comes down the front stretch and will lead the first lap. 5 bonus points for Thomas. Thomas now to the inside of Buchanan in the number 1 Nash Ambassador. Wow, it looks like they were 3 wide in the back there. Very close call. Whoa, into the wall! Crash! The 78 car. Ooh, gets hit by Rakestraw. And it looks like the 55 also involved. So caution flag is out. Wow, Buck Baker, very close call right there. That could have ended his championship right there. Thomas now working turn number 4 again, as it looks like there's a caution on the racetrack. Wow, Glenn Wood, and it looks like Mike McGill, no, not Mike McGill, that is Patterson in the 58, stopped on the front stretch. So it looks like they have gone around down the front stretch. Herb Thomas takes the caution flag once again here at Thompson. Now we got 5 laps to go this season for Herb Thomas. Thomas is just trying and hoping the car doesn't break down on him in these last 5 laps, as it almost did to him back in Hickory. He had to claw his way back into the point lead. Even after 5 victories, he still couldn't get by Buck Baker. Baker's pure consistency this season put him ahead of Thomas, even though Thomas has now won 5 times and is looking for 6. As he comes down into turns 3 and 4, he's got a bunch of lap cars in front of him, but I do not think it will matter for Herb Thomas. We come down to 3 laps to go at Thompson for the Thompson 100 and the championship. He goes to the inside of the 71, gets by him. Now to the 28, Eddie Skinner, probably going to get by him really quickly. Yes, he will. Tom Cherry right in front of him as well in the 38. What a run by Herb Thomas here at Thompson. How fitting that he gets to close off the season a champion in that fabulous Hudson Hornet. 2 laps to go in the championship now. Thomas gets by the 38 of Cherry, putting 3 cars in between him and the car behind him. So even if he were to have a problem, he could probably limp his way home ahead of Buck Baker at this point. We're coming down to the white flag, 1 lap to go here at Thompson in the championship race. Herb Thomas is 1 lap away from glory. Thomas now comes off of turn 2 for the final time in that 92 car. He races into turn 3. Lee Petty can't touch him. 6th victory of the season and championship for Herb Thomas. He's your 1953 Grand National Challenge champion. Lee Petty 2nd. Then you're all the way back here is Buck Baker, who will come home a disappointing 2nd in points after leading late in the going in the championship. Disappointing end for him. But it is Herb Thomas, your champion here in Thompson. It's been a fun season, many great races, crazy wrecks, and fun finishes. We're glad you watched for the 1953 Grand National Challenge season, and we'll see you next year in 1954.